Let's just go.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again.
Is that a choral arrangement that you once did?
No, it's actual Simon and Garfunkel.
I know that. That's not the melody. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I think I dealt with the harmony.
To talk to you
Here, you
again.
do the same time, and we'll do it. One, two.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's come to talk to you again. Kind of. Your harmony's fucked, though.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé. Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown. 90-day Beyonce. Marrying someone you only met on your phone. Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love. It's 90-day gate. Let's love.
You know, maybe if you learn to follow musically, I would be better.
I am an amazing follower.
You know, I don't know anymore because the way you literally cannot sound check and you actually have a career as a musical director is astonishing to me.
You know what? The difference is I want the best for me and not for you.
I want the best for us.
I do too.
Yeah.
And that's the best for me.
Yeah.
Because when you're too loud, it's just not a good show.
Yeah. I think maybe you need to revisit some of your perceptions.
This is 90-Day Gaze.
90-Day Gaze.
This is toe.
Toe.
This is our first toe in like 5 weeks.
It is. It is.
And it was a jam-packed toe.
Okay. I was waiting for you to finish up. You kind of said, this is our first in 5 weeks. And you kind of sat there for a second.
I think I'm still like I've been fucked by a big dick. And I'm just like sitting here like this with my legs spread and going, what else is going to come down the pike?
Woo! Y'all, this was a rough night for Poodle because this episode was good, but it was intense. And then
it was very intense.
The dog has not stopped barking downstairs nonstop, which I can tune out and he can't. And I don't mean it's a dig.
You got to a point now where you couldn't.
Well, I mean, I still can do it, but I acknowledge I said it is very loud.
Yeah.
So I feel for you for that. And then y'all, there was we started today. There was a protest, which were great, good for them. With on the date of the Armenian genocide,
the U.S. getting involved with Azerbaijan-Armenia war.
Yes, and so that was happening, and then now the Lakers have won the national championship, and Poodle lives by probably the best Kobe mural in Los Angeles.
So everyone's just blowing their motherfucking horns.
There's so much noise for Poodle. If you're at HSP, you understand.
It's a lot.
Poodle is having it, and I'm gonna give you grace this episode.
I'm a scared cat trying to cover up shit on a hot tin roof.
It's true, and you don't need this. You know why? Because it's your birthday week, y'all.
It is. My birthday's Tuesday.
Poodle, the 13th. A bitch was born.
I will say I got to shout out Lena and Joshua for giving me some chocolates, and some other people gave me some stuff. I'll talk about that tomorrow on
the other
Darcey
way.
and Stacey.
You don't have to send Poodle stuff.
You don't have to. I promise. Oh, although if you do, you can send cash like someone did.
Don't send him cash. He's fine. Oh, speaking of cash, real quick, I want to remind, we had a sissy reach out to me and say, apparently a lot of you are trying to get together to start a GoFundMe for myself and my father who's going through cancer.
Don't do that.
Well, I say, and I don't mean this to sound arrogant, my father worked his ass off his entire life because he was very, very poor. And because of that, I'm very proud for him. He has rental properties and money coming in. So we are fine, luckily. I encourage you to give to other medical organizations or
maybe the Multiple Myeloma Foundation.
Yeah, or your own community of people that really, or maybe like the St. Jude that helps people that don't have money get medical care. I encourage, but thank you for the thoughts.
His father is a white man with good insurance, so it's fine.
It's true. And he is, that y'all keep asking, we've got a good hopeful diagnosis that the doctors MD Anderson in Houston is an amazing facility and they can work miracles.
And I don't know if you know this, we are together tonight.
Yeah, we're together. Just for a little bit. Don't get used to it because once my brother's with my brother's in Houston with my dad in the hospital because only one person could be there. But once he gets out and does outpatient, my brother said, yeah, that's on you, buddy. Get your ass back.
I'm kind of okay with that because I enjoyed you being back for notoriety, and now I want you out of my house.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Hey, why do you think I do the show over here? I don't want you over there.
Because my couch is sagging again, and it only took one day.
Well, it's a cheap couch.
Fair.
It's a cheap couch. Y'all, I've been begging Poodle to get a new couch for like 6 months now.
It's going to happen. I want a leather couch.
It's gonna happen!
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this cloth couch.
Well, y'all, it looks like a Smurf and Alien have come all over his couch because Poodle always leaves his pins everywhere.
I leave
and they
like
leak,
these felt pins.
and they leak all over his couch.
And they leak on my couch.
Or he'll be writing like poetry at 1 o'clock in the morning and he'll get drunk and fall asleep on the couch and then leave a pen mark.
I'm not even going to argue with that. I'd like to, but I'm not going to. Ode to Marcel Proust. And I fall asleep at 2:30.
Yeah. Yep. That's basically.
We're doing the other way, y'all. We're doing
the other
toe.
way. I don't think we have any other announcements, do we? I don't think so.
Y'all listen to we had a fun time doing our Bacurious for
this month.
Below Deck Med, and you can hear that.
I've still thought about that show. I'm not going to lie. I'll probably watch the finale. It's a good format of a show.
It is the ultimate show to watch on a Saturday when you have nothing to do.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, all Bravo shows are like that.
It kind of wet my whistle for Southern Charm that's coming up in a couple of weeks on the 29th.
I'm excited.
Which we will be covering.
And you guys, I wasn't excited until I watched the trailer. And then it's like they decided, we can't just be entitled white people.
Yeah.
We have to actually look inward a little bit.
Oh, we still got to email, what's his name about that? We haven't heard from them.
We haven't.
Regarding Sweet Tea. So I'm glad we're talking about business. So anyway, business. I think that's...
I'm a businesswoman.
That's it. I'm back on Cameo now. You can come at me on Cameo. Things have settled a little bit. Things might pause again. But for right now, I'm okay. So...
That sounds really, really structured.
Well, I feel like... Do you know how many messages I got from people like, why can't I get a Cameo from you? And I'm like... Bitch, don't be thirsty.
Really?
I know. So, no, I'm happy that I can be
People
that.
came at you?
No, not negatively. Not negatively at all.
What do you mean, why can't I get a cameo
they're
from
like,
you?
what's something's going on with your cameo? And I think they didn't know yet that I'd said I'd paused it. So they thought something was broken. And you know how sissies get when they think something's broken. It's like when they didn't hear from us for 2 days and they thought we were dead.
This just sounds really gross that you're talking about your cameo.
No, it's fine. No, I'm just talking about sissies.
You're like, so many people
got
in touch with me.
Kind of the person that talks, that name drops and talks about himself constantly. But do you remember?
I do not.
Oh, my God. Oh, just listen. Just listen. It's hot in here. I'm taking all my socks.
It's fine.
People did freak out when they didn't hear from us.
This is the first time you've said it's hot in here and I've said it's fine.
It's true. The
I just want to say
shifting. Yes, I want to say one more little announcement. People broke out. We haven't addressed this on a free show yet. I think we just talked about it on our Patreon. People broke out when they're like, we didn't do a show one day.
What? Yeah.
And people thought we were dead.
Was that?
They were so worried. We didn't. Shit happened with my dad, and like we couldn't put a show out, and people were like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" So y'all, things are a little wonky right now for us. If we're a day late on a show, we really try to get everything out, but we're not dead. Piano Cat has not been found. As Jackie Weissman says, someone is not wearing Jake's skin.
No, we're fine.
Believe me, y'all are sweet to worry.
Is this the first show? I believe this is. This is the first show since Chris Farah guested.
Yeah, that's so.
First free show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris Farah. She jumped in and did that so quickly.
I called her that day.
Like 2 hours before.
Because this son of a bitch is like, I can't do it today.
I'm like, we're putting my dad in a helicopter right now. So
and I'm like, okay, I'll find a way.
And you know what? And I'm going to say this on record. I was trying to figure out how to do it. And this bitch said, let me take care of this for you.
I said, let me help you.
Let me help you. And that is a good business partner, I have to say. Unless she's trying to just get me out of the show.
Let's talk about the show.
All right.
I'm going to just sign some stuff later. One's called Power of Attorney. Had this rat poison milkshake.
Speaking of rat poison, can we talk a little bit?
Let's talk about, we on our classic Patreon editions of classic, we started the first season of 90 Day Fiancé.
I really liked it.
OG, 4 couples, Alan and Kiryam, Mike and Aziza,
Lewis
and Aya, and then Russ and Paula.
And yes, we heard y'all scream because we know y'all hate Paula.
She's not cuckoo crazy this season.
Yeah, it was normal. But you know, we had Adam's drunk mother.
Yes. Lewis's
drunk mother. There's a little bit of cast of characters.
No, not Lewis's. John's drunk mother.
John's drunk mother. We had Liza, that wedding dress salesman.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had fun doing it. If you want to watch it, it's only and then catch up and listen to us.
Yeah, it's on our $5
we'll be doing
Patreon.
We'll be doing the 15 for the watch-alongs.
And don't forget
it's only 6 episodes.
Russ's parents' house that gave me hives.
God.
Y'all, there was so much word art, so much clutter on the walls, so much like God is in this kitchen.
There is like a whole thing of crosses, and afterwards, I think like my phone noticed it or heard it because I was scrolling on Facebook and there was a Precious Moments ad, and it was a Precious Motive, and it was and it said like together forever, and it was the boy holding a cell phone. And the girl was knitting. I was like, is this trying to update?
And I will say a bunch of sissies have come at us when we were talking about, what was it we were talking about with the Calvin pissing on the Chevy?
On the Chevy.
On the Chevy locale.
A
lot of that.
Calvin pissing on one side of the Chevy, and then the other side is Calvin and Hobbs
praying
in front of a cross. And as Poodle said, those things go together.
Yep. That's my childhood.
So anyway, I will say, being from Oklahoma, any house with a woman over just a good Southern family and the women are over 60, that's what their house looks like.
Yeah, it's really bad.
But we had fun doing it.
I didn't like it when I started it, but I enjoyed it by the end.
It was, it's just the nostalgia of y'all, the haircuts, the clothes, the word art, the phones, the technology.
Yeah, it was fun.
We enjoyed it.
And even it's so weird that 2014 feels like 20 years ago.
That felt 20 years ago.
Yeah, it did.
Boy.
Like the haircuts, especially.
Wow.
It's weird how the haircuts, you guys, are the first thing to age.
And y'all don't,
you can tell.
Oh, yeah. And you don't realize Russ is, I tell this to Poodle, and Poodle gets it. If you're not from where we're from, or a town like we're from, Russ is like he's like the guy on the fringe in Oklahoma.
Russ was probably called faggot in school.
Yeah, a white guy who wears a faux hawk. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Weird.
Especially in where he is in Oklahoma.
And he's not wearing like boots. I know they go country. But yeah, y'all, that is like, we would have sex with him.
In a second. Strangely enough, he's boring. And I would maybe 1 or 2 bangs, maybe 3 or 4, as long as he wouldn't talk to me. Then it'd be okay.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy I'd have sex with and then leave and go eat Whataburger at 2 a.m.
Y'all, there's nothing like finishing up a good no strings bang than going through the Whataburger line or the McDonald's line.
I told you. Our Whataburger used to be a bank, so it's kind of set up weird.
Or the Jack in the Box line.
Yeah, Jack in the Box,
Which
curly fries.
That's been my thing. And also tacos. They're tacos. Y'all, Jack in the Box tacos are garbage. But after a hookup, there's nothing that comforts you more.
I told you last time I hooked up years ago in Ardmore, I was in Whataburger, and my hookup was behind me in the car. Let's jump into this.
I can't talk. No, I can't. Let's just. Okay. I want to say that this episode, first of all, it was 2 hours. I'm stressed out now. I'm going to have to take something to help me sleep. Or I just drink.
It was a lot.
We start
and
with,
also, let's be honest, Poodle's nervous about politics right now. It's in a tizzy.
I haven't slept well in a month.
If you want to, we don't talk about it on the show, but if you want to talk to Poodle and ease your political, come at him on Twitter or individually.
If you want to talk about me, come at me on my Twitter page, my personal Twitter page, or my personal Facebook page. I will tell you about what I've been going through.
Yeah, you can go through it.
I'm not sleeping well. Let's just say that.
This is season 1, episode 15. I don't know if we said that.
Season 2.
Jesus, you're right. Ready or not?
I wish. Can you repeat that and I'll just play it every time?
No.
This is first. We start off with Sumit and Jenny.
Gosh.
So this is the thing, you guys. Even though she should have left by now, everything has been against her. She's like, I still think that Sumit's going to tell his parents about us, and we're going to get married, and we're going to go live, and we're going to live with someone else, and they're going to support us. And my generous,
yeah, and again, y'all, we get to see, even though the first time I lived here, they asked to marry, and they said no. And then the second time, he told me he had a wife. But this third time, I know it's going to happen. Look, I laid an egg.
And the worst thing here is Jenny's got this weird, like, what I call a cross between a house coat and a peasant blouse on.
I don't know what the fuck
and
this is.
And it's not good.
It's not age appropriate.
It's also way too young for her, but that's what she wears.
I mean, you've got to be of a certain type of style to pull off an Empire tunic.
Agreed. An Empire tunic. You know what? I've never agreed with you more.
Which actually, you love an Empire tunic.
I love an Empire tunic. So I will say, you guys, I think we forget the fact that as we found out in like the mid-season finale, Jenny was introduced to Sumit's family as a Facebook friend.
Yes.
And they were just, she stayed with them for like months.
Like 4 months or 8 months or
and
something?
then after a while, she's like, guess what? I'm dating your son. Like,
well, yeah, they kind of figured out they were banging.
Yeah. So
literally, they had a wolf in the hen house.
So I can kind of understand the parents in this.
Oh, I understand the parents a lot.
Like, to be hoodwinked this way. Anyway... So they still don't know how to bridge this gap. And I wrote down that Jenny is sitting on a couch from the Indian Pier 1 because there's all these like it's all like basic patterns, arrows.
It is.
Yeah, it's really terrible.
Well, let's just get into this. So Sumit goes and talks to his parents.
Yeah. And the parents are waiting there.
They're waiting. His mom is very pretty, I think. Not for that matter, but I think she's pretty.
The parents are very normal, but at the same time, they're very traditional.
You know, Indian matchmaking helped me kind of understand their perspective a little bit. Which, if y'all haven't watched Indian matchmaking,
it's fantastic.
And listen to our binge of it on our Gatreon, what the fuck's wrong with you?
We did every episode.
Every episode, yes.
I guess we did.
You really learn to block things out, don't you?
I thought we only did a couple. No, we didn't do every episode. We did like one and
you're right.
8.
We did too.
Yeah.
We watched every episode.
Yeah. We watched every episode, though.
We did have to watch which that was great. So I know it had some problems with it, and it's obviously that's a reality show. It's not totally accurate. However, it gives you it definitely gives you the perception of the culture and also how the wife or the mother really has such a big factor in determining who her son marries.
Basically, one of the biggest deals here is the parents saying, she's too old for you. The society and culture would have a really big problem with this. We would be ostracized. This is how it is here. And I would like to say that Sumit's father has an actual pen in his shirt pocket.
He does.
Like a goddamn pocket protector.
He really does. Did they even sell pocket protectors still?
I don't think so. And his mom says, I will never accept her. You need to forget about her. So it looks a lot like he's not going to win with his parents.
No, and they really kind of just go through this this just battle of horns kind of a thing of, Sumit is saying like life happened. None of this was planned. None of this is planned. Right. And he was like, you cannot separate her from me. And she was like, and it really is, it's not even the American thing. It is that she is younger. That is
older.
Or that she is older and he is so much younger. And it's
twice his age. Yeah.
And his dad explained, he has this kind of beautiful thing. He's like, this, I'm not saying it's right, but the way he describes it, these things are not acceptable. A mango tree can't start by growing lemons.
Yeah. That just shows you where they are.
And he said, you live in this society. You follow by these societal rules. And I think, and we're going to see this, I think, in Kenny and Armando. I think Brittany and Yazan have already seen it, but it's like this idea of just because you're an American doesn't mean you can change and take on a culture.
I totally agree, and I think that's the whole theme of the entire series, especially this season.
This show is good.
Sumit's father also says,
admit it, you like it.
I like this. I have never said I didn't.
It's before the 90 days. You didn't.
Yeah.
Well, that was crap.
It's happily ever after.
Oh, that was crap.
Hey, y'all, I don't like it. I enjoy Before the 90 Days. The original 90 Day Fiancé is probably my medium favorite. This is my favorite. Toe.
Yeah, I love Toe.
I love Toe.
So does Kyle and Kim.
Yeah, Toe is my favorite. Because you don't know what you're going to get. And also, I feel like these producers, the interesting thing about a reality show is trying to get a point across, trying to sculpt this story and so the audience gleans a theme from it, and and you just called it. That's the theme.
Yeah, that's the theme.
That's why Angela's never been on Toe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she's going to learn to compromise on that.
Well, it's hard to script something around someone who's always trying to act for television.
Yeah.
And that's what she's doing.
That is what she's doing.
So Sumit's dad says, I did everything, or sorry, Sumit's mom says talking about the dad, he fulfilled all your wishes. The dad paid for the divorce. Dad did this. So now you're going to do what we want you to do because we've paid for you.
But Sumit
we've done everything.
But Sumit countered with that and said, but it's your fault that I was in that marriage anyway. And he's right about that. And even the dad says we thought we could force him into this marriage. And I don't feel bad that they paid for his divorce.
Well, and I think too, it's a very American thing for us to assume that it's all about his happiness because the parents say, "What about our happiness?"
Okay, so
what about our happiness?
So they bring in, and I think it's like we come from this culture of. It's interesting. Someone said this to me just yesterday. They said, I think it's really admirable what you and your brother are doing for your dad. And I just am like, huh? And they said, well, just that you're taking care of him. And to me, it's like, I get that a parent has to take care of a child, and it's a privilege for a child to want to take care of a parent that took care of them. So I get that. But at the same time, I feel like it's natural to, if your parent was a good parent, to take care of your parent. But I think that's the way we think about that.
But that's in a very American sense.
It is American sense, where they're talking about, this is not a, if you want to, you had good parents. This is a duty of you take the way we pay taxes here. You take care of your parents there.
Well, it's not even more to take care of. It is, I'm doing things to make my parents happy. That is cultural.
Yes. Yes.
And if I don't do things that reflect well on my parents, that is shaming to my parents. And that is a disservice to my parents.
Yes.
That's cultural.
Can you imagine if things that you and I have done in our lives were actually reflections on the shame of our parents?
That's why my mother doesn't know half of what I've done. My mother doesn't know the stories like me bringing my knee pads to a bar. Or
you brought your knee pads to a bar?
Yeah.
Suck guys off?
No, because I'm going to be doing somersaults. I'm going to be doing a lot of knee work. Yeah. My mother doesn't know certain things. That's why we don't tell our parents things.
That's just true.
My brother and I have this list of things that we're going to tell. But we can tell my mom at like 20. We could tell my mom at 30. Tell my mom at 40. And things we would never tell her.
Isn't your mom about to be 70 soon?
She's 68 now.
What are you going to tell her when she's 70?
It's everything's off the table.
It's all.
We've already revealed everything we're going to. Everything else dies.
That's fair.
Yeah. We only went up to about 40 because that was all, and then everything else is just too horrible. Because she would shame us so badly, or she would go, God, well, I don't even know what to think about that. Why'd you even tell me that? That's what it'd be like. She'd actually prefer us not to tell her a lot of things. She wouldn't want to know.
Oh, she would want to know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to know either as a parent. So that's kind of like Sumit and his parents' thinking is, well, you're going to take care of us when we get older. If you're taking care of your old wife, how are you going to take care of us? Because it looks like Jenny's older than them.
I think it's that, but I think it's the fact that if he does marry Jenny, there's no way he can get children. And therefore, that's going to react because they can't brag about their grandchildren.
Which, they didn't say that, and maybe they'll say that later, but I agree. I would kind of imply
that's
that
the big
as well.
issue. That's the biggest issue, you guys.
But I was surprised. I thought that would be what they would lead with. Not, you got to take care of us, bitch.
I think it's that. It's interesting because he says Sumit is still fighting. He's still fighting for Jenny. And he says to them, I told you 3 times that I would commit suicide if I had to stay with my...
Yo, this was dark.
And it just tells you guys, even though Sumit is probably, 30-ish?
They said at the beginning of the episode, but yeah.
But he acts like he's 18 or less to his parents. But I think that's what the parents, especially what Indian parents in this tradition have cultivated.
Well, that's what I was saying. What I got from Indian matchmaking is that, at least from that show, almost all of the single men that lived with their parents were babied.
Yes.
Babied.
Remember,
so much.
what's his name? I can't
the gay
remember
one?
his name. No.
With the mole on his face?
No, not him. The one, what was his name? Not Pradyuman. What's his name? The one who's really baby. The one, the mom.
He's even worse, yes.
Yeah.
So,
anyway.
It's not going to go well for them. I mean, he was... It's not... Sumit also said, when I was married... He kind of goes in and says, when I was married and felt like I was dying, in those 2.5 years, I stopped sharing my thoughts with my parents. Because I think he was close to his parents. And that's when the dad kind of said it was his mistake. And, the mother's saying, when you ask, you are asking to choose between me and you. And Sumit's like, why can't I choose both?
Right.
And his mom cries. He hugs her. The dad kind of ends it saying, well, think about it. And then, I don't know if any of you saw, but on our TV, it kind of got a little staticky. And then suddenly, Asuelu's mother came out of the corner just screaming.
I don't know if you know this, Indian family, but I don't care about the kids. I don't care about the kids. I just need my money. You don't need to get married. Does she have money? If a chicken has money, I will take it. I want money. That's what I want. You can get them from the birds and bees. I need money. That's what I want. That's what I want.
And she left.
I often shout out, that's what I want, in my house.
Yeah, I noticed. I noticed a lot of times it's at me.
Y'all, I'm having a hard time letting go of Mama Asuelu. I'm just going to tell you that now. Kalani, I don't care about the kids.
I'm glad you kind of make her sound like that
Kalani.
Sebastian the crab
She
from
kind of
Little
talk
Mer-
like a these. Kalani, I don't care about the kids,
Ariel,
man.
I don't care about the
Oi,
kids.
Man. Kalani, I don't care about the kids. I need money.
Many. So, Sumit, he ends up going to, I mean, there's not much more to talk about in that. He ends up going to talk to Jenny.
At some kind of cafe, and he shows up, and he's kind of gets behind her, and she's like, "Oh, you scared me. You scared me."
I'm just waiting
First thing I thought of. Oh, you scared me. That scared
It
me.
is so rewarding to me that I drug you kicking and screaming
I
into
know.
watching Smothered, and you miss it so much.
I know, and I'm not happy about it. And
so-
I really loved the show, and I really hate you for it. Oh, you scared me.
Y'all, and some of you are coming.
What's a poopsie?
Oh, it's a poopsie. We haven't decided yet, but a lot of you are wanting us to do the Mama Show. There's a lot of things happening for us right now, but we'll do it as a Bi-Curious, and
We'll do it as Bi-Curious.
We'll do it as a Bi-Curious.
Yeah.
So sorry,
Um,
Southern Charm came back, so it kind of squashed that.
And he basically says, he tells Jenny it was very emotional seeing them, and she's like, well, I'm a lot in better health than both their parents. I don't know. Society doesn't pay your bills. I'll pay your bills. Okay.
And again, Jenny says that whole thing. She's like, "Are you I want to be with?" And he's like, "Yes, I want to be with you." She's like, "Okay, then that's it. They should be happy for you. Just be happy and just finally listen to you."
Is that a worm? Hold on. Go.
And so
I'm molting.
I get why Jenny says this, but I mean, for me, watching Sumit with his parents, like y'all, I know Sumit's not a favorite of some people. And he's not
Trigger warning.
He's not necessarily a favorite of me as well.
No.
I have a lot of problems with him.
We've really kind of turned on him, and I totally kind of agree with the prevailing sentiment.
But I do agree with the prevailing sentiment, and I think it doesn't have to be a black, white, yes, and for me, it's like, and this is a hard situation for someone to be in, and my heart goes out to him because I do think, yes, he did a lot of shitty things, but boy, that's like, this is, again, he's up against a culture. He's someone in their own culture.
That's why I keep saying the only way for them to be together is if they leave India and go somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think he has to either has to have enough money to leave his family and be financially independent, or he needs to let go of Jenny because they're not going to budge.
They're not going to budge.
They're
And
not
you know the reason why he did the show to begin with, as he said last week,
I can't believe
he did this show to help. We learned that in the tell-all of season 1 to which we just talked about on our Gatron, but to kind of prove to his parents.
Yeah, he did the show to prove that he was in love with this woman.
But I understand that now.
I submit, take this chicken.
But don't you understand that sentiment a little bit more now after seeing how unwilling his parents are to budge?
It seems like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but I get it.
But it's harder.
It's extreme.
It's harder to go. It's harder to go against a culture that you're a part of, actually, than if you're an outsider.
I agree.
Americans can do that, but for him to... So I'm just going to say, like, he's not my favorite person, and I have a lot of problems with him, but he should have done this before.
I agree.
But I give it to him for finally kind of standing up to his parents. That
I
was
agree.
ballsy.
So let's move on to Brittany and Yazan.
Is on.
So Brittany, if you remember, we left them last. Brittany was going home to, quote, I'm making heavy quote fingers here, see her sister and help her sister have a baby, when it was really to get divorced. Which, again, I keep forgetting that she's still married.
With all the other issues, we're like, oh, yeah, there is that. So she goes back home to see her mom, Audrey, in Chicago, that toddling town. Toddling. You don't like that song?
It's all right.
That's Judy Garland. Shut your mouth and hit your face over with the microphone.
It's all right. I don't know. It's fine. I've never lived in Chicago. I'm sure I'd probably like it more if I lived in Chicago. Sorry.
The song.
I'm just being honest.
I love Chicago. I was moved there instead of LA. It's a great town.
I like the city. I'm not saying it's not. I've been there. I've never lived there.
The guys get kind of dirty. They fuck.
Okay. You know what? Have you ever been there in the winter? Probably not, because you would despise it.
But they just probably want to just... I bet Chicago... Is it Chicagoans? Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
I bet Chicagoans just want to fuck in the winter. Because what else are you going to do? Fuck and drink.
No, that's true.
Didn't they do that in Michigan when you went to school?
Yes, but there were school classes to take.
Oh, and you weren't out then, so you weren't having sex, so you were just like, I'm going to go study, guys. It's a blizzard outside.
There's enough to do. But you were never there in the actual winter, were you?
No.
Yeah. It's pretty miserable.
I know, but I'd still fuck somebody in the winter.
I was in Chicago like in the entire month of January. It was really fucking
miserable.
miserable.
Why January?
That was when this musical theater thing was, and my show was accepted. So
that was unfortunate.
Lovely people.
Beautiful in the summer.
With lots of bugs. And it's hot.
I liked it.
Anyway,
Poodle ruins everything. Little Poodle.
So Brittany and her braces are back in Chicago visiting her mom. And Brittany says, I'm feeling really, really drained. Because we're fighting over cultural differences. And basically, she's talking about her parents. His parents are always yelling at me, and they want me to be Muslim. And the mom even brings it up. So have you brought up your divorce? And the mom's like, maybe be honest with him. You're making Brittany's face, and it's really accurate.
Oh, I actually didn't realize. I've been holding this face the whole time while you've been talking, and I didn't. Y'all, Brittany does her lips spread. It's
because it's to cover the braces.
Mm-hmm, it's just like
it's like
like
it's
either she's gonna fart.
Face.
Not that she smelled a fart, but she's like
no, she's trying to fart.
Yeah, like she's like but not loudly. You know when you need to fart, but you're in public and you're trying to
It's a cross between her lips covering her braces and her brows. And
which are drawn on a little
and
too
she
much.
paints them on too much, so it looks like she's always either like incensed or confused.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know which one is which.
I'm a gay who can't get comfortable on your couch tonight.
I'm actually comfortable for once.
My feet itch. What does that mean? You know when your hands itch, you're going to get money? What does it mean when your feet itch?
Athlete's foot.
Okay. There's one word in that I'm not, though. Like I've ever had anything athletic.
No, you're definitely not an athlete.
I don't even have an athletic supporter. I once
gonorrhea on your feet.
There was once a guy who's like, "Do you have a jock strap?" And I said, "I don't even know how to put that on."
You know what? I had to buy a jock strap because too many people asked me if I had one
for Piano Cat.
Yes.
Where did you
finally? I was like, "Fuck! I'll just buy a jock strap."
Did you know how to put it on?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I Googled it.
Y'all, because we didn't have to wear jock straps in choir.
Mine's assless, so it's kind of like...
And let me guess, yours says nasty pig on it.
No, it doesn't. It's what Who did I buy it from? I can't
Or
remember.
is it some? I bet you bought it on Amazon because you buy cheap ass knockoff on Amazon. So like instead of like Calvin Klein's, it says like
Calvin Klein
or Jared Johnson.
Jared Johnson.
Come on, if you got a jock strap from Jared Johnson.
I just got tired of men asking me, "Do you have a jock strap?" I love that. I'm like, no, fine. I'll send you a pic of one.
Really?
Ugh.
Look at that.
It got to a point where I was just like, okay, fine. It's like when people say, "Oh, yeah, it's like when your kid's here." I'm like, I don't have a kid. They're like, "Oh, I'll talk to you later." So it's like me buying something that everyone had. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an earthquake kit. Everyone needs an earthquake kit. Like every gay guy needs a jockstrap.
It's true. Boy, that sissy who stopped listening to us because of our sex lives. It's
She's
going to be
not having
sad if she came back for this episode.
And like, I'm not even into them. That's the thing. But I got them. I got it because so many people were asking me about it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to like be part of the circle.
Yeah, or you just wanted a dick in your ass.
Maybe.
Oh, the circle jerk.
That's it.
That's what you wanted to be in.
The circle of life. Circle of cum.
Well, maybe I'll try one. Surprise my boyfriend. I just have to learn how to put them on.
Gross.
Send me your Google tutorial.
I've probably worn it like 5 or 6 times.
Probably comes off pretty quickly.
Yeah. It's not something that stays on that long.
Looks good. Take it off. Okay.
It's like negligee.
Yeah.
Negligee stays on for how long, y'all? Yeah. That's the gay equivalent of negligee.
Come at us. What weird piece of clothing did you buy for your significant other to do it?
Or don't.
Too late.
Anyway, where are we?
So Brittany's feeling very down, and the mom's like, "What's happened?" So they finally get to her house, and mom's like, "Okay, boo, I got you, girl. Let's get some wine." And she opens that expensive Australian wine, and they sit down and have a chat.
And she basically tells her mom that...
What is that wine called? I used to love it, and then I realized I'm basic.
You are basic.
What is that? Yellowtail.
Yellowtail.
Oh, Yellowtail white wine. I like it. Sorry, I'm on this. I like it that Brittany's like, what kind of wine is it? Brittany's mom knows wine like my mother knows wine.
Yeah.
Where
she loves her.
Well, Bonnie won't even say reason. She'll just say, what? And that's what our mother said. What kind
Can
of
you
wine
bring
is
me
this?
some white?
What kind of white is this, Mom? White. Like there's
right,
just
she did
white
say that.
or red. And I think Brittany meant like, is this
I've got a nice white.
Yeah. Not a Chardonnay, not a Pinot Grigio, just white.
White.
Come at us if you think there's only 2 kinds of wine.
There's white and red. That's it.
That's it.
So Yazan, basically, we have like 2 seconds of him, and he's just like kind of walking around the city, and he misses her. That's it.
He was like, I miss her. I don't know where it is. My eyelashes, so beautiful.
His eyelashes are beautiful. So we're back in Chicago. She's putting on fake lashes. They're going to her court hearing, and it's super, as she says, super important.
It's important.
Important. No T. It's super important.
And even her mom, though, is like, so hey, when they were having the wine, she's like, you told him that you were still married, right? Because that would be,
and she's like,
that'd be stupid if, like. And she was like,
I didn't really tell him that.
She's like, baby girl, you need to tell them that you're married. And she's like, again with Brittany, she's like, well, I'll just wait till I'm divorced and then it won't be an issue.
Well, the next day, she's like, so I'm just thinking they can just give me a divorce. Like the judge will just say, bibbity bobbity boo, you're divorced.
You've been married too long, bitch. Let's
Here
do
you
it.
go. Here you go.
Cut to
3 hours
3
later.
hours later. She deals with, and y'all, I worked at, forget, I still work at a law office job, so I know this. Y'all, the court won't do anything for you to help you out. In fact, they're
going to make it harder.
They have so much shit, and they fuck up on technical shit all the time. And guess what? They didn't even register her papers.
Right. And she's like, I really thought I was going to have a divorce.
And she has to she came to Jordan for nothing.
And I like it after she's like, what do I need to do? Can I like speak to the manager of divorce?
She literally said, she was like, who is the manager?
Is there a supervisor? It's kind of like, who was that who said, can I speak to the manager of jail? That was Jessica.
Who is the manager that needs to check these people?
Or Jeffica, as someone called her.
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels on Love After Lockout was like, who do we need to speak to the manager of parole?
You know, Brittany does kind of have a I need to speak to a manager mouth.
She does.
You know, the main thing nugget for me for this was, and her mom called it, and I was like, girl, listen to your mother. When Audrey said, honey, she was like, well, his parents, Brittany was saying, his parents want me to be a Muslim, and they're so controlling. They're all up in his business. Y'all, this is important when you're dating someone. Because the mother said, but that's how he grew up, consulting his parents.
Right.
And y'all, you will
Mom
not...
is the unlikely... Audrey is the unlikely voice of reason in this episode.
If you're significant, if somebody you're dating, you're thinking, well, that will change because he's not going to act that way towards his parents or whenever we get married. No.
Can I just... I want to say one thing here.
What?
Hoping someone will change. You guys, changing your significant other is basically like taking... like melting down plutonium. It's very difficult.
That is a great analogy for that. And thinking that a piece of paper saying you're married is going to put more weight on that plutonium, you're wrong.
It's changing someone you're with takes so much. Now, if you change together, that's different because you kind of... But saying, I think I can change them. I think I can change them to do this. That's very difficult. The best thing for you to do is saying, how can we both try to get on the same page? That's the best way to do it. Instead of saying, I'm going to change this about him or I'm going to change this about her. If you're trying to change one thing about something, about someone else, you're going to be waiting a long time.
You think Brittany will be able to do that?
No.
Yeah.
Y'all,
yeah, I don't
this
either.
is DOA. We knew this from episode 1.
From episode 1. Literally.
I know.
Episode 1.
That's why I'm just kind of like watching it. I'm like, oh, I'm just watching it fall apart, and I don't even want to. So it's kind of the same thing with Bini and Ari, which I don't want to even watch anymore. I'm done with them. Shall we take a break before we go to Kenny and Armando?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's move on.
We're back
to the kind of meat of this episode, or main course, as it were, for you vegetarians or vegans.
Pièce de résistance.
Pièce de résistance.
That's what I said.
Something like that.
What does that mean? What you can't resist? The piece you can't resist?
The main event.
But what's the translation? Pièce de résistance. Resistance, that's resistance, right?
Well, that word means a little bit different in...
Oh, it does.
In the French translation, yeah. It means the greatest thing. Yeah. Who cares?
I don't know.
So, y'all, happy coming out day, by the way.
We're about to talk about the gays, so we're talking about happy coming out day. Come out wherever you are.
so
Anyway,
speaking of coming out day,
it's really kind of what they all did on the show, and which, by the way, I do want to say this because I thought we had a good time today in our YouTube live.
We did
with our that's if you're at the top tier of our Gatreon, we do a YouTube live.
The come at us level.
Which honestly, y'all, I mean, we have hundreds of people that do that, but we only have like 40 people that come to.
It's fun though.
So
we had a good time.
If you want to talk to us and interact with us, bitches, that's the way. So there won't be too many people crowding it. So, but we had one of our sissies, Ayala, right? Ayana, who talked about how still being discriminated against.
Yeah, she had I think it was her mother's grandmother at her mother's grandmother's funeral. I wouldn't have mentioned her name, but you would have heard.
I just said the first name. I didn't say the last name. It's Smith. And no, I'm kidding. I don't know what it is. But it's Gregory. And but my heart went out because I thought, about coming out, it's not just about people coming out as gay, but it's also about, I said then on the show, I said, you know what, we have so many, we talk about like sissies. Jackie Weissman has a shirt. Like she wears shirts to pride parades that say free mom hugs. Did you know Jackie's one of those people?
I did know that.
She's wonderful. And so she's a mom and she'll give mom hugs. But we have sissies out there that will give you grandma hugs too because, that's hard. I never came out to my grandparents because I was always scared of what they were going to say.
I was a child when they died. Or
a psychic told me that they were fine with it and that my grandpa knew. But anyway, so
that's nice to make you feel better.
It is, but I just want to say it's not just coming out.
Faggot.
Coming out of gay truly is such an act of love to do for yourself, but also saying that you're an ally and letting those people know that you're different.
That's a wonderful thing.
That means a lot too. So, and we love y'all for it. So let's jump into the boys.
We had a bunch of sissies in the squad in our Facebook group say either come out as lesbian or come out as bi, come out as questioning. Like there was a lot of that today. Which
really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I really feel like our sissies have really embraced the bi.
Yeah.
No, but I don't think that happens in a lot of places. But we embrace the bi.
I've embraced some bees.
I have too. Let's be honest.
They got some really nice D, if you know what I mean.
And for some of you, some
I've
P.
embraced the bees D. Get it?
Yeah,
everybody understand?
Yeah.
I've sucked some bisexual dick.
Yeah, we got that.
It's been inside me.
Okay. All right. And again, we just lost another listener. Too much sex talk.
But one, I like the...
Carl, don't leave the room when they talk about gay stuff. I swear, Carl, they are so funny. I love them. Carl.
He does leave the room every time we talk about dicks.
Carl, are you homophobic?
No shit. No shit, Carl's wife.
Fine. Come here, Shooter. Get on Mama's lap.
Shooter's the dog.
That's her dog. Shooter. Yeah.
We just named the dog. Shooter, come here. Shooter, come here. Sit with Mama.
We don't know what type. It's a small dog, but Carl's mom has a dog named Shooter.
Just now that you said it, I know it couldn't be any other name. Shooter, come here, sit on Mama's lap.
Some sissy said this. We really do need to make a T-shirt that just says Carl. We got to do that.
God bless Carl's wife. So, you guys, this is a big deal. Kenny and Armando are going down to pick up Hannah.
Yeah.
And literally, I just want to just pull zoom out and think about what's happening here.
Okay.
Compared to his family, he has told them that he is gay, and he's told them it before, and then he's told them he's in a relationship with another man. Then he has told them that he's taking Hannah to live with them. Then he has told them, and this trip, he says we're gonna go get Hannah, and she's gonna live with me and this other guy. And then in the same trip, he tells them we're engaged and we're about to be married. So there's a lot happening, and I really think that Armando would not have tried to do all of this if not for Kenny pushing him to do all of it. And I honestly felt triggered by Kenny the entire time by saying. Because I don't think Armando would have done all this quickly, and maybe for better or for worse, I don't know. But
no, I get that.
So anyway, Kenny is the second person he's ever brought home to his parents.
The first one
was his mother of mother of Hannah, And basically, Armando takes his ring off, so the parents can't see it. Which that triggered me too. It's like
it's a both ways.
Yeah,
because also it does feel like Kenny is pressured him, and at the same time, though, this is what you didn't mention and all that. was, of all those things that's happened, we forget before all of that, Armando came out to his family and they made him go back in.
Right.
So when someone does that,
That's true.
When someone does that to a gay person and disrespects them and traumatizes them, so I think Kenny is looking at this of there's no piecemealing with these people, because they fucked you over. And I understand that people have a coming out. There's a difference of having a coming out process of your child and learning to accept that, and then another process of making them go back into the closet and feel like shit about themselves.
Yeah, I think it's good that Armando has Kenny
Yes.
to be kind of a supporter and a cheerleader.
But I'm with you too. Kenny triggered me too.
There was just a little bit of him just being there and him saying, so, when are you going to say what you need to say?
I think I was surprised. I guess I thought Kenny, and again, this could have been the edit, so don't, come at us, Kenny, if you're listening.
He listens to the show.
You did about your kids' names, and we respected it. Also,
we like him.
We love them.
Yeah.
Also, I forget, Kenny's son is hot.
Oh, yeah.
He's real hot.
Bryson. Brysen.
I kind of would. I'll be interested for them to talk about this on the tell-all, because I think what you bring up is we're both triggered on both sides of the coin.
We are, exactly.
This is a very complex situation, and I love that they're seeing this, because I think a lot of people, especially white people in the United States, thinks, oh, well, you come out and they either like you or they don't like you, and that's it. And if not, fuck them. Well, no, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not the situation for Armando, and it's when you're of a different, even in the United States.
I mean,
it's hard.
Ideally, what would have happened in my fake world that I live in is Armando would have come out to them and saying, I'm actually going to go live with my boyfriend in a different place. And then they would have come down there to stay a weekend with all of them. He would have met them.
But do you think, and
but I'm saying, let me finish.
Okay.
Then they would have left, and then they would have done that for like 2 or 3 times. Then once Kenny became a part of their family, which to me would be the same thing as if Kenny were a female.
Yes.
Because he's taking on kind of child rearing responsibilities.
I agree that it's because they're gay, but it also is just the suddenness. If this was a woman, they brought him on.
I would have wanted the same thing.
I mean, I think this definitely compounds that.
Yeah.
Although Armando's so gay, if he came home with another woman, they would have gone like, "Yay!"
Yeah, but it needs to be a process, and I understand we have 90 days.
Well, we have 90 days, and also he can't go off and live with Kenny and then just leave his daughter there. Like, he needs to take his daughter. And I guess you probably, if you're thinking, well, hold on, you would think, if this was your mother, you would think, if I'm going to take my child, I want my mother to see that I'm not running off with some crazy cuckoo person, like somebody I'm proud of that will be a good secondary parent.
I get that. And in the same breath, I would have, ideally, before the 90 days, I would have brought him. This coming out process would have been handled way before this.
I wish I think that would have been for them to meet them before. And again, I think we see with Armando, I think where Kenny, I'm imagining, so I'm just kind of gleaming this from the show. It seems like to us, Kenny is pushing, but I bet you what you just said, I bet Kenny has been pushing that for years. I
agree.
Let me go down and meet your parents.
Totally.
And I bet Armando has been so...
I totally agree with you.
Unable to do it. So now Kenny, I think, kind of is like, look, you got me down here, you're meeting your daughter. Like, and I understand this. My partner wasn't out when I first... There is this part of you, it's that balance of trying to be respectful of their process, but also, yes, it is torture for them to come out to their family. But I will say, too, honoring Kenny's experience, it is torture when you fought 20 years ago to come out of the closet. You live in that.
Well,
and then you've got to go back in with it's hard.
I agree, and this is the difference of cultures.
Yeah.
Even though Kenny lives in a very he comes from a culture in like Ohio or Indiana or wherever it was.
But he lives in Florida now.
But he's almost he hasn't forgotten. But I'm saying it's long gone.
Yes.
Of the way, and so
I think you do sometimes maybe
Yeah.
but I know I've forgotten kind of how hard it was to come out. And then I go live in Oklahoma for a month with my dad, and I fucking remember. No, but I'm saying I remember. He doesn't live where he came out.
Right.
He came out in Ohio, then he moved to Florida.
Right.
And when you go back to
Very
you're like,
different.
Fuck.
And I also want to bring up, this is a terrible elephant in the room to bring up, but like, let's just say that, like, we're Armando's dad, and you see two guys who are going to take your granddaughter away, and everything you've heard is two gay guys are perverts. Who knows what they're going to do to a kid?
Is your son a pervert?
Yeah,
and
so, like, again,
which is not true, but that's common.
That's not real. I'm just saying that's the common. That's common thought.
And I'm assuming that they're probably, we haven't said, but I'm assuming they're probably Catholic.
Of course they are, yeah.
Which in Catholicism, y'all, marriage is a sacrament.
Yeah.
And especially in, so it is the fact that, well, first of all, that's not recognized by the Catholic Church.
Right.
And secondly, you're saying what? Two men are going to get married? A sacrament? This is like...
To me, everything happened way too fast. And you're exactly right. It could have been that Kenny's been pushing Armando to do this for years. And at one point, Kenny's like, here, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to rip the Band-Aid. Here we go.
Because Armando's a little defense. In that car ride where Kenny just said, so are you going to tell them? And Armando's kind of like, he said, don't pressure me. And I went, I actually don't think he pressured you. He just asked you right then. But this, you can tell that comment that was an iceberg underneath it.
I want to also talk about the fact that when they do get to the house, Hannah runs and gives Kenny a big hug.
It was really sweet.
Which I teared up at.
It was sweet.
And
y'all,
so
because here's
he
the
knows Hannah, because kids don't give a shit.
Kids don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If you
come at them with love, they will see through anything you give at them, and if they know you love them, they will understand it.
My partner's dad was kind of worried about the kids finding out he was gay, and then one day over, like, they were talking on the phone, and his little brother, who's like 9, said, "What are you doing?" He's like, and my partner said, "Oh, I'm going to go have lunch with my partner." He said, "You mean your business partner?" He's like, "No, my life partner." He said, "You mean your boyfriend?" He's like, "Yeah," and he went, "Oh. Okay, so hey, I was playing the Madden game. What did you think about the new?"
Right.
That's as much as they fucking care. They don't. So if you're thinking that your children aren't gonna like your gay Uncle Tommy, they're gonna not care at all.
It's much more the older people who are gonna have a problem with you. The kids aren't.
I do have one question for you, Poodle. In seeing this scene with Kenny and
8
Armando,
inches.
Jesus, I'm sorry, Kenny and Armando. They sent us sweet little cards for our anniversary, and then you hear this shit. I would totally love to get drunk with Kenny and Armando, by the way. I think they'd be fun. I kind of worry about you hitting Armando. Never mind that.
I would.
Never mind. You know, Kenny, I can go out with you.
I don't think Kenny would drink that much.
Probably not.
Why do I feel like Kenny is sober?
Maybe. Good for him
Yeah.
if he is. Question for you. What do you think is the one thing that Kenneth could have done to kind of make this whole process easier? Just one thing. Just one obvious thing.
He could have, you know what, there's
just a uno obviso thing.
The biggest thing I could think of is not to try to take Hannah the first time they meet them.
No, it's learn fucking Spanish.
Yes.
Learn fucking Spanish.
That is true.
You live in goddamn Florida. Learn. Y'all been dating for years.
Mucho gracias.
Learn fucking Spanish.
It's true. I agree.
I'm going to say this again. Tim knows Spanish.
Y'all, Tim from like Golden Retriever Tim can read Don Quixote in the original Spanish.
He can sit and roll over in English and Spanish. Kenny, I swear to fuck, Kenny.
Cervantes is muy bueno.
Muy bueno. Kenny, I swear to fuck. If we get to this tell-all and you have not learned any more Spanish,
I'll be pissed.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking
It's
get a
ridiculous.
Duolingo.
Anyway, so he does get there, and mom hugs Kenny, and they ask about dad, and she's like, "Well, dad's been tired all day." And I will say, there's tons of people there. There's tons of people there to meet them, which is not the best.
That was not the best for the parents
Yeah.
as well. Like, why did you? And I guess the mom just wanted support.
Yeah.
But between the mom and the sister, I mean, his mom is. I got to give it to her.
Oh, the mom is.
She's
the
really
mom is
trying.
fantastic, and the sister too.
They
Sister
are really
Debbie, yeah.
trying.
And they say, like, a pleasure. It's so great to meet you. But
And Kenny just looks at him and says, "Nachos, taco,
and I will
pico de gallo."
and I will say that the mom says seeing Armando with a man was ... something.
something.
And so, but mom is kind of being in the reality of it, and the dad can't live in it because, like, the dad finally does come out of the door and, like, shakes hands with him and goes right back inside because basically, you guys, this is kind of what happens when especially when a boy comes out or when a woman comes out. Who knows? In a way, the idea of someone of your child dies. One part of that
Yes, you have to
dies.
grieve and that happens
Yeah.
for the person coming out.
Exactly.
You have to grieve the life that you thought you were going to have and accept the one you are.
And so Armando's dad is kind of grieving,
He's grieving.
that. He's grieving that
grieving.
kind of like heterosexual life for his son.
And that's why, even in the best circumstances, y'all, if you are coming out, give your family a little grace. If
Yeah.
they're still telling you that they love you, but they still might say things that piss you off, don't necessarily go off the rails. Go, oh, wait. They haven't coming out. My brother told me when I came out, well, I'm still going to raise my kids Christian, and I'm going to raise them that they don't think this is a right lifestyle to live.
Did he really?
But even when he said it, I went, I'll give him time. And now he would never say that. He would never think that.
I agree with that, but it's so funny that my brother is always like, yeah, you're who you are. It's whatever.
Your brother's the most laid back person in the fucking world.
He is.
My brother is not. And so, but I mean, I think but again, it's, and my dad, my mom, everybody, well, my mom was pretty much gay from the get-go. She knew. She was good. But, you know what I mean? But you've got to give people
Have you ever told
time.
your mom the Liz Claiborne shoe story? You really should.
That's one of those things I won't tell. No, it's like your mother. I'm sorry. That's got to go to the grave, y'all. I don't know what episode that is. Maybe somebody tweet us. But I tell the story of when I was wearing my mother's Liz Claiborne shoes and she came home and I had to throw them in a field. I'm not going to tell the whole story again. But
Because
it
you were
happened.
so afraid of her finding out you were wearing
Yeah.
her heels.
She got those at Dillard's and she was pissed. Anyway, it's the thing I hope from this, if you notice that Armando, and this is not a good way, this is so hard for Armando to do. He completely disassociates in the moment. Mm-hmm. He's not feeling any feelings, y'all. What I mean by disassociates, meaning like his body is there, but his mind and emotions are not at all.
This is really traumatic for Armando.
It's really traumatic for him. And I wonder, because I would not have thought this would have been this traumatic for Armando, even the little time I've known him. And I wonder if this was a surprise for Kenny, because I bet you it was.
You mean
To
you
see
thought Kenny
how
would...
much Armando shut down in this moment and how difficult. There were so many awkward silences in this with all their family.
Well, I think, too, like, this is Armando. This is the nth degree of Armando confronting who he is.
Yeah.
And he's been pretending who he was for how long? However he's been alive.
And this first time is the worst time. But then the next time Armando sees his family, he'll be more of himself. Yeah. It's just that's why a lot of times when you're gay in life and you're like, oh, I'm about to do something really hard, you're like, wait a minute, is that harder than coming out? And a lot of times it never is.
No. It's always easier to do it, but you're terrified to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, so Kenny, I kind of wrote this down that Kenny was kind of pissed off that the dad was like, "Is that it?" And I feel like that may have been egged on by the producers.
Maybe, because that seemed out of character for him.
yeah.
And I went, don't make it about you.
Yeah, he kind of did. But
Because how do you think Armando felt?
But it could have just been that Kenny's just been too long in Florida, where everyone's like, "Oh, it's a gay guy, whatever."
Well, yeah, and also we didn't even mention this. Think about their family. We mentioned all the stuff Armando's just come out to them with, and they're doing this in front of a television show with lights in their face.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad is probably. I honestly agree with Armando. I was pretty shocked that his dad came out, gave him a kiss.
Yeah, me
told
too.
him I loved it, and I'm like, that's amazing.
And just going back in the house, I'm like, that's all I needed.
My dad couldn't say the word gay. When I came out, he started crying, and then he said, I got to go to bed, and went to his bedroom. Like, that's how little he talked to me about it. And then your dad asked me if you were a cross-dresser because they came over, and Poodle was in a coma, and he saw pictures of us in Cabaret, and he asked me, friend, is my son a cross-dresser? I went, no, Father Poodle, he's just real gay.
Is my son a cross-dresser? God bless. You know, I will say something for my family.
Don't pull over, y'all.
They are
Don't pull over.
unintentionally funny. They will say shit like that.
They are. They're very funny.
And it comes off as very real.
Hey, and if you need to come out to your family and you're worried about them not accepting it, just get in a coma and come out to them then
It's a good way.
and almost die, because they're going to be just glad you're alive.
It's a good way. Anyway, I don't have a ton more to say about this besides them saying we're leaving.
Oh, well, he tells them that he's getting married, and it's like
Right, his announcement.
the mom is just like
She's like, "Ugh."
totally slapped in the face.
Yeah.
It's really, and then his family is funny. One of the aunts is like, well, are you going to invite us? And they kind of have just these weird, awkward silences. And finally, y'all, everybody has this aunt. I don't know. For a lot
She's
of
like,
it's Aunt
it's
Mo.
going to take time to assimilate.
Yeah. And then finally, Aunt, I'm just going to call her. We know some, but we're just going to call her Aunt Mo. Aunt Mo stands up and says, well, all right, it's time to go. And then everybody just kind of
I love that.
Come at us if you have that person who just does that. And then the three of them sitting there are one of the saddest things I've ever
God,
seen.
that was hard to watch.
Wasn't it?
It was basically like, mom says, it's okay to stay here. And they're like, really? And they're like, yeah, I've talked to him. They're like, I don't need to talk to him. It's fine.
And then mom, she gives him a hug, and she's like, we're glad you're here.
And
like,
then
this mom, God
I'd
bless
like
her.
to zoom in on Kenny holding Truffles the dog. And this is what Truffles is thinking. How could anybody think that this motherfucker who's holding me wasn't 100% gay? My tongue's hanging out of my mouth, but I'm just trying to live. Who's gonna help me? Someone get me dialysis for my kidneys. That's all I gotta say.
I just want a treat.
I don't care what dick goes in what butt. I just need a sweet place to lay down.
Oh, fuck, I just peed on you.
Can someone put my tongue back in my mouth? Y'all,
You know,
this dog is a vague remnant of death and needs to pass.
you know, if Truffles is at the tell-all, I'll be shocked.
You're right. Truffles is dead.
You know, it took 15 episodes, but we finally have a voice for Truffles the dog.
He's talking like this.
Oh,
Hey there.
even when they're riding the car and they're on those bumpy ass roads, you see Truffle in the back, just kind of shaking like a bobblehead.
Someone hit me with a ball peen hammer.
Exactly.
I don't know why all of a sudden Truffles is very southern.
Very.
Someone hit me with a ball peen hammer.
And drunk.
Put my tongue back in my mouth.
I think too. I just want to say this last thing. I don't think he would say this. I think that whole "I don't want to be the bad guy." It was a producer line too.
I
from the
agree.
beginning.
I totally agree.
Because you know what? When you really love somebody, it's okay to take the fall. Yeah, I tell my partner, I'm like, you know what? If you feel uncomfortable with the situation and you need support, you can put it on me.
I'm the first.
That's fine.
I'm the first person to say in almost every situation to anybody. I'm like, if they have a problem with it, let me be the bad guy.
You say that all the time. Yeah, I agree with you.
I think it's just because I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that at all. I don't have a problem with people thinking that of me. Mm-hmm. And if it'll help protect the people that I love,
Yep.
I'm the first person to do it.
Y'all, I have to say, that's a freedom. Be okay being the bad guy. And if you're not, work on that.
I'm completely okay with it. But I think, too, that's how I was raised.
Yeah, I think Mother Poodle's fine being the bad guy.
She was. She is currently. Yeah. My mother, oh my God. She was always the bad guy with when I wouldn't be allowed to do things. And my mother was like, we'll see about that.
You mean like school board stuff?
Yeah. Just tell them your mother said you couldn't do it.
How often did your mother go talk to your school board or principals or something on your behalf?
My mother was PTO president for a lot of things, so she could control. Yeah. Yeah, she was. She
get fights with other parents in the PTO?
Oh, yes, my mother was a chaperone, often a chaperone, and all the kids wanted to be with my mom for every field trip or every kind of like overnight because my mom swore, and they thought that was really funny. My mother would back up, and she'd go, "Shit! Did I hit that car?" We went up to Fontana Dam, North Carolina, and my mother was playing the Bart Simpson "Do the Bartman" CD, and we were fucking like chilling to that. We were like, "Do the Bartman." Mama was like, "Do we have to listen to this all the way to fucking Tennessee?" I'm like, "I like it." She's like, "We're playing something else," and then she played like Air Supply for a while, and then we like played like 20 Questions or some shit.
Mother Poodle, an icon.
Y'all, I know I make fun of Mother Poodle, but Mother Poodle was fun growing up with.
She was.
She had some shit to say. Should we talk about? I'm done with them.
You know who's not going to say that about their mother? Ariella's son. He's not going to say that about Ariella.
Okay, y'all. We knew this was coming from day one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I was right.
Oh, I'll say it.
But I was right. You were right. Everything we predicted about this day.
Spot on. We have been pretty good in our predictions.
Oh,
we knew Alex from Married at First Sight was going to cheat on him.
Yeah.
We knew something else. Then this.
All I have to say, you guys, is that oh, fuck. Like, as soon as her mom left, she was going to turn into Bitchosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Cuntosaurus Rex with tiny arms.
Yeah.
And she has.
I almost see her more as like, what is that cartoon where it's an adult, but it's a baby? It's a big baby who's like, you know what is it a Looney Tunes?
It's something like that.
There's a cartoon of a big baby, and that's what I see her as.
Anyway, she's terrible.
She is.
We kind of see her. She's still drawing on her eyebrows like nobody's fucking business. And she fell apart when her mom left. And she even says, you know, although I really think about the people at home a lot, I'm so happy I'm here. and we compromised on a place to live. It wasn't a really nice place.
Wasn't really nice.
There's no elevator. However, this is what we have. I want to say that what they have, there's a very small refrigerator.
Very small.
Y'all don't pull over.
Don't pull over.
We're dealing with. Wow, that's really loud.
Yeah, I hope they're okay. That's
We're
fire
dealing
engine.
with
Hail Mary, full of grace.
Lakers win in LA tonight. So who knows what's going to happen?
Anyway,
Hail
Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you.
And Binyam even says, "Oh my God, listen."
Listen,
I am just one voice.
y'all, they're at it tonight.
And Binyam says, "I don't know how to support her." Because she's that. Okay, that's 3.
Yeah, there's something big happening.
Yeah.
Something.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
Blessed art thou among women. Somebody said they were offended by that, and we just want to say we're actually praying for those people. And also, I said this on the Patreon,
Fuck
but
you, bitch.
y'all, God's got a sense of humor, I think.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. She does.
Otherwise, Polish people would not have huge dicks.
Someone just drove off the road.
Shout out to Kyle from Cray.
Oh. Wow, were you just talking about Kyle's dick?
No, because he tells things about his Polish father-in-law and his Polish wife.
Still. And y'all, somebody asked, we don't know what they look like. We don't even know where they live.
They're in Northern California.
You think? We don't know.
They're
You're
in
just
Northern
saying
California.
How do you know?
Come on. That's what they've said. They're in software.
Oh, I didn't know they said in Northern California. Oh.
You haven't listened, obviously.
Well, I know they touch software. But...
Anyway, so he doesn't know how to support her.
But the way that she thinks he can support him is like, look, I know you need to work a job and stuff, but I just can't.
That's a really good impression of her.
I can't be alone with I just want to be alone with the baby all the time. Like the first month, you're going to need to be here.
She even says that. She's like, I don't want to be alone with you.
Look, honey, girl, sugar. The man has to pay fucking bills.
Well, however, she's paying for almost everything with her savings.
But what Biniam doesn't know is, maybe he does, but this is what many Americans try to do. In people in America, let alone going to Africa, she's controlling you. She's controlling you with her money.
It's really awful.
And then she's going to take away the money, leave you in Africa, and say that you were a piece of shit that didn't support her, even though she told him not to support her.
Mark my words. There's no way this baby is on the continent of Africa by the end of the season.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No
and
way.
Poor Biniam. Biniam,
he's had
don't
2
fuck an
babies
American girl
taken
again.
from him.
Stick to Africa, please. Please, Biniam.
It's really awful.
Same county. If they have counties in Africa.
Anyway, so they're trying to buy a car, and she brings Binyam and her privilege along.
Yeah.
It's an actual person.
Yeah, it's a roll cart.
And they're like, a Toyota Yaris 2008 automatic. I can't drive a stick. $22,000. What the fuck? If I'm in the U.S., I can spend this much. And Benyon has to say, this is a landlocked country. It takes a lot of money to get here.
Yes.
And
he also, they said that there's taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is shocking. Y'all, do you know how much a 12-year-old Toyota Yaris is? I mean, do they even make Yaris's over here?
I don't think so.
I don't think
when he said Yaris, I laughed so much inside that they were buying a Yaris.
This car would be, I'm not kidding,
like
probably
$3,000.
$3,000.
Yeah.
So
here.
It is insane that they're asking for this amount of money.
Now, I agree it's ridiculous. But she
bitch,
doesn't need to say, in America, I could get this for... Could you imagine what happened if you bought it in America and tried to, like, water freight it over?
It'd be cheaper.
Would it? No, I think it would be.
No, I wouldn't be $22,000. I bet.
I don't know. I have no idea how much
People
it costs.
do
to
that,
like
but
that.
still, she should buy a car and bring it over.
But anyway,
good for Bini and for finally saying, "Look,
this is a landlocked country.
you're
bitch.
in Africa, bitch. You're in Africa.
That was my favorite thing.
You're not.
You're in Africa.
You're not in New Haven, fucking Connecticut."
He also did say, the producer's like, "Are you okay if her parents like pay for us?" And he's like, "Oh, I would love that."
Yes, that's great.
So the baby is due in a week, and they're there to do the ultrasound. And we've already found out the baby's breech doesn't seem to bother her that much, which anybody else, that should be a thing you're worried about.
Yes.
And it should be a thing that you're actively trying to talk about.
Yes.
And she's asking about a C-section, and they're like, "Well, no one's had one of those in a while here."
She's like,
What's
"What?
that? A C-section? We never heard of that."
She said, "What's happening? What? Huh?"
Anyway, so the technician's not really telling her anything, which they don't really have to because they don't really. They're not really allowed by law to tell her
She's
what
like,
she can
"I
do.
don't understand. The technician's not telling me anything."
And a nurse finally says, "Your amniotic fluid is low, and you're going to have a C-section today, biatch."
And then Ari
Today
starts that she really, y'all, she does not
she
look
goes
well.
full Karen.
She does not look great when she cries.
No.
She's like, she kind of...
Now, today, what? I put on this cat eye.
And she, what is what's kind of fucked up is that she puts her hand over her face, and
Yeah.
she's like, almost got
She
going
can't handle
in.
it. She can't handle
She's
it.
just almost more like, just like nonsensical.
It is very like speaking in tongues.
Mommy. Because that's what she wants. She wants her mommy. And then doctor's like, "Oh, your mom is here." And she goes, "What? Your mom is here. Here. Your mom is 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 here." And that's what she screams. No.
Yeah, I just think this is the worst person. This is the worst possible person to have a baby overseas without her family.
You know, she's just so pretty. And, you know, I will give her one thing. She said something, and I was like, you know what? I would have thought that, too. With the whole car thing, she's like, "I guess I just expected things would be cheaper here in Ethiopia." I would think that, too. As an American, I would think, oh, American money, it's going to be worth so much more there. So that was eye-opening to me that a car was that much money. Now, I wouldn't have said in front of everybody, well, in America, I just would say, let's go home and talk about this.
She goes heavy like MAGA real quick.
Yeah. So...
Which is weird for her.
Which is not
because,
her, I bet,
yeah.
because, y'all, most, but it's just, so I just want to say, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I would have thought that too. So the show helped me learn something.
I think too, though, boy, how quick is she going to go back to the U.S. with that baby?
Oh, well, we saw a preview of her saying, "This is my baby."
She does. She's like taking her child and blackmailing with like.
But that is exactly
my precious.
That is and we call that once she has that baby.
Yeah,
she's gonna
goody him.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be a traumatized little girl fighting over her doll.
Yep,
and no one can play with her doll.
Ding ding ding. That's what it is.
Bini, truly, I feel sorry for him because he met a potty girl. He met a party girl, and now he is the father to, or he wants to almost marry a monster.
I feel sorry for him, but at the same time, he's chosen 2 woohoo girls.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I would
make
love
better
it if
choices,
they had his first
dude.
wife on the tell-all. That'd be great.
Oh,
that would be fantastic.
Make better choices. That's what I want to say.
Let's stick to Africa, buddy. And maybe
Agreed.
going to IT. We've seen your dancing.
It's not good.
It's made me feel really good when a lot of sissies were like, he's horrible.
They were like,
Dancing
his
Sissy.
footwork is garbage.
His footwork is garbage. Dancing sissies came for him.
He's not good. That's the worst part of it.
They were like, the girl he dances with was great.
No, she was awful. She was even worse.
Really?
Oh, you mean the wife?
The
wife video. No, you mean the video when he was in the club?
In the club, I think people thought she was good.
When he played her ass drums.
Well,
yeah. Ass drums. Should we move on to Melyza and Tim?
Let's do it. Please,
There's
can I
not-
have a treat when we talk about this?
There's not a lot here,
Please,
y'all.
please.
But Tim, the golden retriever, is still in Colombia. Colombia.
My name's Tim. I'm from Texas and I live in Colombia.
Colombia. He wants to stay in Colombia, but he also thinks that she's holding back, mostly because she's got a jerky treat behind her back,
Please just let me see it.
and he's still keeping the fact that we need to talk about. She meets her friends, David and Miguel.
well, he goes to look for a job. His part's kind of. He goes to look for a job. He's at an interview. Maybe they will sponsor him because the only other way for him to get sponsored is to get married.
And
Right.
I don't think Melyza wants to marry me yet.
not gonna marry me.
So, y'all-
whoa.
We find out that Melyza wants to go meet
David and Miguel, her gay friends.
her
Y'all,
gay friend.
Both these
and
friends are gayer than Christmas.
and her gay brother. Okay, sissies, red alert. I need y'all to find Miguel's Instagram because
for me.
he is hot.
For me. I wanna bang Miguel. So I wanna bang her brother so bad.
Isn't it funny? In Smothered, the brother's name I think was Miguel too, wasn't it?
No.
Oh no, Miguel
David.
was her boyfriend with the hot
Yes.
dick, and then the gay brother was
Danny.
Daniel. Y'all find his Instagram because this
Y'all,
man.
I need to bang Miguel.
Whoa,
I need to bang the brother, not the long-haired one.
he looks like some strippers I've given money to.
You're gross. You probably got MRSA from him too.
You cannot get MRSA from strippers.
People have said that.
Okay,
Everyone
like
has said
two sissies say it. Fine.
Anyway, they're all like, "What are you gonna do?" And she's like, "I don't know. I hope it works out."
Well, she says, so I kind of fucked a guy whenever we were on a break.
Right. So she admits they were supposedly on a break. I doubt Golden Retriever Tim thinks they were on a break.
He probably doesn't think they're on a break.
Yeah.
And look, it's a person's right to fuck whoever they want to fuck when they're single. And if you're making him come clean with all this honesty stuff,
You need to come clean.
You need to tell someone
Yeah.
that.
Like, honestly, you guys, she's just as bad.
I
I
think she came here. She wanted him to come here because she says, well, I just feel bad and I need to come clean. And I went, no, you wanted him to come here and I think you wanted to punish him.
I agree. She's here to ruin him.
I think so too.
She's here to destroy him.
I just feel like this is not the way you act when you.
She's got the
When you love someone, you're
worst.
trying to work it
She's
out.
got the worst resting bitch face in the history of television.
And we just watched season 1.
And we watched Aziza,
on season 1 of 90 Day Fiancé.
who lacked the muscles to smile.
Never smiled. And then she's in Ohio where everybody talks when the mouth doesn't barely move at all.
Like, she was born without the muscles to smile.
Yeah, y'all. Never happy, sad, lonely, angry. It's all the same.
Anyway, her gay brother
She's a
and her
walking
gay
Botox
friend.
commercial with her hair on the side because she loves that side
Yeah,
pony.
she does.
Anyway, her brother and David are both like, you need to tell him. You need to tell him, girl.
That's it.
That's it.
Go, girl.
Y'all find that Instagram.
She loves gay people, y'all.
Now, she said
Melyza.
Melyza said she wasn't dating this guy like emotionally. She was like, it was just sexual.
She's like, it was primarily sexual.
Anyway, she wants to hurt him. She's like, I don't know. What do you think? And then, like the bitch that he is, David says, I hope it works. Hope it works. And that's all I got.
That's it. That's the show.
That is, y'all, this was a long show, but it was a 2-hour show.
It was 2 fucking hours.
So, we're going to save our sissy shout-outs.
We're going to do sissy shout-outs and sissy spotlights. Y'all, if you are a sissy spotlight, come at us. We're still looking for a couple more. We're going to do those on Darcey and Stacey, which we're going to release tomorrow. A lot of shit happened, so even if you don't
Florian, did Florian fuck another woman?
I don't know.
While he married Darcey? We don't know. Stacey? We don't know.
Also, y'all, if you don't normally listen to Darcey and Stacey, just even if you listen and then just fast forward to the end where we're talking about shout outs and
a lot of people aren't watching Darcey and Stacey. They're just listening to us.
You're losing out. It's fantastic.
We really love it, y'all.
I hated the first 3 episodes, but I'm totally into it now.
It's kind of like 90 Day Fiancé meets like a well-produced reality
it's
those shows.
No, it's still garbage.
but it's
bad. It's still bad. Don't say it's good. It's still bad.
Seeing Stacey kind of go through this with Florian is amazing. And y'all, Florian is a piece of shit.
It's definitely still the same kind of producing though. That I will agree.
Oh, I loved it. I'm loving it.
I think it's though, but the 2 women make it work.
Oh,
Darcey and Stacey make it work.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't really work.
And this episode, apparently, it's their drunk friend, Raina.
Oh, she's amazing. Her and Debbie both.
A sissy came us and told that bar. Debbie used to be a bartender there.
Yeah. Debbie's like 5'1".
Yeah. So
that's it.
Anyway, that's it, y'all.
Show.
You can go to 90daygays.com and find out all of our other information. Go to our website. Poodle and I both are on Cameo. You can come at us
on Cameo. We have fun there.
Come at us on Cameo. If you are watching this, y'all remember October 13th is Poodle's birthday.
Oh, God.
So, you know what that means is on October 13th, Tuesday, give a hand job for Poodle. It's his birthday. Give a
hoot. Don't pollute.
Give a wristy for this little sissy right here. There you go.
Give a hoot. So I don't have to poop.
Yeah, exactly. If Poodle can't have sex, we hope you do on your birthday.
Abstain.
Anyway, any other announcements? I think that's
it.
Well, we call these people Lonely Hearts, Poodle, because we all just lonely hearts looking for love.
What?
You've had this whole show.
Keep going.
You've had the whole show to think about.
Keep going. One more time. Say it again.
Poodle, we call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love?
Yes. And if you painted your fucking eyes like a cat because you thought you were going to have a glamorous birth, call us.